You're eating right, you're working out, and you're doing everything the advice tells you to do. And yet you still can't seem to push past that number on the scale. And after trying so hard, it feels like your metabolism, your hormones, your busy schedule, and your genetics and age are just up against you. If we're meeting for the first time, hi, my name is Perry. I'm a weight loss and body transformation coach and trainer with over 10 years experience in the industry and over 7 years coaching. And I've worked with hundreds of women who have been eating healthy and working out for years, but have not been able to see the weight loss, the fat loss, and the toning results that they want, even though they're really trying. And after watching these same patterns repeat itself over and over again with clients before they come in to start working with me, I usually boil it down to four main things. And they usually happen in the same order too. Today, I'm going to walk you through the four main patterns and mistakes that I see most women make who are eating healthy and working out, how to identify them, what to do about it, and how to change and tweak things on your end so you can finally see the results that you want. Let's dive in. Every mistake here looks like the right move. The reason these four patterns and mistakes are so hard to identify is because they all feel responsible and like you're doing the right thing in the moment. This can look like a few different things. Like doing your research before starting some kind of program feels smart. Going at it alone before investing in a coach feels reasonable. And staying flexible in your program where you're locked in and you have a little bit of fun here and there seems like you could still get results, right? Every single one of these things sounds smart in theory, and it seems like you're making progress towards something that is going to get you results. But honestly, it's exactly why so many women feel stuck and don't actually see the progress they want, even though they spend years really trying. It's also why so many women are confused as to where they're going wrong, because when you're eating healthy, working out, formulating plans on your own, again, it feels conducive to being able to see the weight loss, fat loss, and toning results you want. This is also why so many women are confused, especially with so much information out there, the rise of AI. You might feel like you have all the answers to the test. But the reason these four patterns and mistakes keep popping up is because there's no proper structure, accountability, or support around the things that seem right on paper. And that's a huge gap that compounds over time towards getting the results you want or not seeing the weight loss, fat loss, and toning results you want. Let's dive into each one so that you understand what they are, what's blocking you from seeing results, and how to change it. Pattern one, you're doing this alone. This is the pattern that everything else builds upon, and it's the one that keeps most people stuck for years, sometimes even a decade. And even I fell into that trap too. Most women who come in to work with me have spent years eating healthy, working out, tracking their calories, hitting their steps, doing their research, going to the fitness classes, and yet they still don't have the body or the health that they want. They've watched the videos, they've followed the accounts, they've saved the workouts, and maybe they've even worked with cheaper coaching programs or coaches in the past. It all feels productive. The research, the planning, the checking the boxes, the moving ahead and doing everything right on paper. But the problem is, without professional guidance, aka a professional strategy, with proper support, accountability, check ins, weekly adjustments, program tweaks, biofeedback analysis, like no amount of you putting together the most perfect plan is ever going to help you see the results you want to see if you're doing things on your own. And also, like, girl, you piecing things together and saying, oh, I'll just do this, this, and this, and this, that's not a strategy. That's you guessing based on information you found on the internet. Think about it like this: losing weight, shedding fat, toning and tightening, defining, strengthening. You can think of that like cleaning a house. And if you just do surface level cleans every single month, your house is never going to feel that clean. Like, you need a deep clean every now and then, at least once a quarter. And your body is no different. You need a professional to help you go in and get deep, get the grubby little hands on you, and figure out what you're doing wrong so that they can finally put you on a professional plan with a custom strategy built specifically for you. And that's what expert guidance does. It gets into those nitty gritty places that you don't even know or think about getting into. So you can think of me as like a deep cleaning housekeeper for your body, going in, taking a look at everything with strategic eyes, professional guidance, and putting you on a plan and strategy that's actually going to work. Again, like a deep clean for your body, not that surface level tidying up that doesn't really actually feel clean. The women I work with who finally see results after years of trying to eat healthy and work out on their own, they all say the same thing. Like, oh my God, Perry, I wish I would have just started working with you sooner. I don't know why I waited and tried to do this on my own. I hear it all the time. And again, this is coming from women who have been trying for years. So, yeah, the effort and the intention is there, but we got to make sure you're heading in the right direction. And that's pattern one. Pattern two, you're guessing at a plan. This one grows directly out of the first one. And if you're trying to lose weight, shed fat, and tone with some kind of pieced together plan that you made up based on the internet or based on what AI told you, I'm sorry, but that's just not the best strategy to go with. When we're talking about losing weight, shedding fat, toning up, tightening, strengthening, building muscle, repairing and boosting your metabolism, all of those goals require specific protocols. And if you're piecing together things on your own or you're guessing based on what AI and Google tells you, and you don't have anyone actually assessing your progress from week to week, no amount of you piecing things together is actually going to move the needle. Like, you might know that you should be eating more protein, but how much? You might know that lifting weights is going to help you build muscle and shed fat, but are you sure that you're doing the exercises properly and in the right order? You might know that you need to reduce your stress levels, but sometimes meditating just ain't the vibe. Not to mention, sometimes you're estimating. And as we just recalled, estimations are not specific protocols that are going to actually change your body and improve your health. And there's a huge gap between what women think they're doing and what women think they're eating versus what the actual reality is. In fact, I've had clients who come into work with me who are 800 to 1200 calories off from the goal that they should be at in order to see change. I've also seen women come into work with me who think they're eating enough protein, but they're actually 60 to 80 grams off from their overall goal that they need to be at. In both of those cases, these clients were trying, like their effort was there. But since they were so far off from where they actually needed to be, no amount of eating healthy or working out or giving it more time or being more disciplined would have ever worked for them because they were so far off from where they needed to be, even though their intentions were good. Without a professional expert who is a pro at body transformation like me, without someone looking at your numbers, looking at your progress, assessing how you're progressing, looking at your biofeedback, like no amount of you eating healthy and working out and giving it more time is going to actually help you transform your body for real. And this is especially true if you're hodgepodging things together based on what you think is right. A real plan for real body transformation, like I always say, that you can actually see and feel, and one that you can maintain long term, that takes a dialed in specific strategy. We're talking very specific nutrition goals: protein, carbs, fat, micronutrients, fiber, water, and ones that change almost every single week based on where we're going. We're also talking about a custom training program built specifically for you and your goals that includes compound lifts, progressive overload tracking, and also video feedback reviews so we can actually get you the muscle and the fat loss that you want. There's also protocols like stepped, cardio, water, sometimes salt. We need to be looking at progress photos from week to week, measurements, scale, body weight. These are all things that you just cannot be tracking on your own, especially because you're going to be biased based on what you see. And the most important part of this all is it needs to be phased and timed in a certain way. And the reality is, most women who are trying to eat healthy and work out are doing things in a really weird mix matched combination that never translates to weight loss, fat loss, toning, or building muscle because they're trying to do everything all at once, or they're jumbling things up in a combination that just doesn't make sense. Like, body transformation is a physiological process that requires specific things in place in order to transform. And you guessing or you hodgepodging things together is just not going to work. Guessing, estimating, or approximating is exactly why most women are stuck. And that's pattern two. The next pattern may surprise you, so let's dive in. But hey, real quick, I want to ask you something. How long have you been trying to eat healthy and work out on your own, hodgepodging things together without actually seeing the results you want? And maybe you think your genetics or your age or your metabolism are up against you. Let me know in the comments below because I actually read every single one, and it's me behind these videos responding back. So I look forward to chatting with you. Now let's get into pattern three. Pattern three, There's no accountability in your approach. The third pattern follows from the second. And when there's no accountability in your approach, no amount of eating healthy, working out, estimating, or guesstimating is going to get you the body and the health of your dreams. Like, you can't really be held accountable to a protein goal that you made up based on what the internet said. Nor can you be held to some workout schedule that you hodgepodge from Instagram and your gym and your fitness classes. Real, true accountability that actually gets you the weight loss, fat loss, and toning results you want, that requires a dialed in strategy with very specific protocols. It also requires weekly check ins to not only assess your progress, but also your compliance if you follow the plan, and if any program tweaks need to be made so that we can keep your body progressing. Unfortunately, a lot of women think that they're being consistent, but it's actually being consistent with inconsistencies. This can look like you showing up most of the time, but then blowing off more workouts than you'd like to admit. This can look like being good Monday through Thursday, but then blowing your nutrition goals every single weekend. This can look like you going really hard and heavy for a full month, but then falling off the wagon because you lost a couple of pounds and you think you deserve that wine and popcorn. When you're doing things most of the time, that's usually what's keeping you stuck, because 70% compliance doesn't lead to 100% results. That math just don't math. Your body actually responds best to consistent inputs that are dialed in and tweaked based on how your body's responding. And if those inputs are varying from week to week and you're hitting things when you feel good, but then you're kind of slacking off other times, you're just not going to see the results you want. And I know the next thing you might be thinking is, okay, Perry, like, let me just try harder. I'll just like really dial things in and just like make sure that I follow things to a T. But again, if you don't have the right plan and you're guessing what you should be doing and no one's following up with you and your compliance is actually really low, no amount of you giving it more time or trying harder is going to actually work. This is why in my custom program, Body Transformation Blueprint, we have eyes on you like a hawk, but in a good way so that you can finally see the weight loss, the fat loss, and the toning results that you want. One of my clients, Elena, came to me with a 40-pound weight loss goal. And as of this week, we actually just hit it. All naturally, no GLP-1s, nothing psycho. But originally, she came to me as a working nurse with crazy hours, a crazy schedule. She was already managing her nutrition and her workouts on her own, but she just wasn't seeing the weight loss that she wanted to see. When we started working together last year, the first thing we did was put her on custom nutrition and custom training program to repair and boost her metabolism, build muscle, and then we went into a dedicated fat loss phase. And every single week, we do our check-ins to assess the scale, her photos, her measurements, see how her body's progressing, take a look at her biofeedback like stress, energy, sleep, and all of that. And then we make changes to her program to keep her body moving. And this is exactly why she's been able to lose 40 pounds naturally with me over the past 10 months or so. She didn't get there because she was guessing or trying harder, but instead we implemented a custom strategy with real structure, real support, and real accountability. No more wondering if things were working, no more guessing and hoping for the best, but instead a professional custom strategy that's worked. Pattern number 4, you've never gone all in. This is the most common pattern, and honestly, it's the one that's kind of the most hard to hear because you really think that you're trying and you're putting in all of this effort, but in reality, you've never really fully committed for a longer period of time. I'm talking locked in, fully committed, hitting your protocols to a T, not slacking off, and following through and keeping the promises you made to yourself. And this goes back to that whole like being good Monday through Friday, but then blowing it on the weekends. Hitting most of your workouts, but never hitting all of your workout. Going hard and heavy for a full month, but then slacking off at week 6 because you think you've earned it. Like, yes, there are so many women that put in real, true, hard effort, but if you never go fully in for months and months at a time to really see the progress you want to see, it's just not going to work the same. The other caveat to this is going all in requires you to have full trust in your plan. And oftentimes, you're not going to go fully in if it's something that you put together on your own with the help of Google or AI or Instagram, thinking that it's the perfect plan and it's going to get you to where you want to be. But trusting in a plan that you made up from scratch doesn't really sound like the best thing, right? Think about your overall commitment too, because if you're putting together a hodgepodge plan on your own that you just like mixed together based on things you found on the internet and AI and Instagram, like you're never really going to fully trust that plan and go all in because like in reality, you made it up and you don't even know if it's good. So why would you go all in on something when you're not even sure if it's the right decision? That's a lack of confidence. And if you don't have confidence in what you're doing, you're not really going to want to show up. And it's the same when you're trying to eat healthy and work out, but you're not really seeing the results you want. So then you just slack because it's not actually working. Like you can see how this is a cycle of I want to try hard, but I'm not seeing the results. So then I just slack and it becomes demotivating. So then you just stop showing up and then you're just stuck and you never actually make the progress you want. The last thing of this is 75% feels like 100 in the moment because you're really trying. But 75% effort is never going to get you the body transformation and health goals that you want. Full commitment into a program where you're locked in for the long haul. And remember, I'm talking more than 8-week challenge, no 6-week BS. I'm talking 3 to 6 to 9 to 12 months of a full lock-in. You're never going to do that if you don't trust the plan or if you don't even have one. And that's the difference between the women who come in to work with me inside a body transformation blueprint versus the women who are eating healthy and working out on their own, saying that they're really trying and they're only really putting in 75% effort of a half-baked plan that they made up on their own. You can see how the two are just completely different and they lead to completely different results. One, over here at Body Transformation Blueprint, you actually see the results you want, and my body's proof of that. The other, you just feel stuck and then blame your hormones, your age, your metabolism, or your genetics. Like, which one sounds better to you? I don't know, but I'd go with Body Transformation Blueprint and book a call with me. Your overall commitment problem is a structure problem. And once you iron out the structure and you have a professional plan, you can fully commit, trust it, lock in, and then finally see the results that you're looking for. All 4 patterns and mistakes have the same fix. Here's what I want you to hear before we wrap up. All 4 of these patterns and mistakes are solved by the same thing, and it's really simple. Having a custom strategy built specifically for you and your goals. Having the right support and accountability so you actually follow through. Optimizing the 4 key players that make a big impact, including metabolism, meals, movement, and mindset, and formulating your entire plan based on a phased and a timed way. Not trying to do everything at once, but being very strategic with the timeline, the phases, and the protocols so you can finally see the weight loss, the fat loss, and the toning results that you want. Lastly is program adjustments, because just following a plan in a vacuum with no assessment or program tweaks just doesn't equate to the results you want either. Weekly check-ins, biofeedback assessment, taking a look at your energy, your stress, your digestion, the weight, the measurements, how your clothes are fitting. All of that matters over the course of 6 to 9 to 12 months. And yes, a full body transformation takes that long. Even if you're just looking to tighten and tone, if you want results you can actually maintain long term, we're looking at 6 to 12 months plus. Lock in with a coach who knows what they're doing, who's a professional at this with years of experience, and you will finally see changes. I mark my word on that. If you want a system that actually works, it's called Body Transformation Blueprint. We don't work harder over here, we work smarter. And especially for the woman who's already eating healthy and working out, it's probably gonna feel like little tweaks here and there. That's not even a big disruption in your schedule or in the things you've already been doing. But these small tweaks are gonna make a big impact in seeing the results you wanna finally see. The even cooler thing is I offer free video consultations where we hop on for 45 to 60 minutes to chat through your goals, hear where you might be struggling, identify those pain points on where we might need to tweak and shift things so that you can finally see the weight loss, fat loss, and toning results you want, and we map out a plan to help you get there, including a timeline. The link to book that video consultation is below, and I do those myself, so if you book a call, I will see you on the other side. The 4 things that are keeping you from losing weight, shedding fat, toning, tightening, and strengthening are not this like complex mystery or puzzle that needs to be solved. It's usually just a few tweaks here and there, some consistency, cleaning things up, doing a deep clean on your body, repairing and boosting your metabolism, building muscle in a way that actually works and is efficient so that you can finally get the body and the health of your dreams. And now after this video, you know exactly what to look for and how to book a consultation so that we can get you on your way to feeling better. If you want to go deeper on this goal itself, whether you want to lose weight, shed fat, or build muscle, I recommend watching one of the videos in my channel now. It's called Stop Trying to Lose Weight, which I know sounds crazy when that's your goal, but it's going to reframe how you look at body transformation and the goals you have for yourself. It's linked right here on your screen. Click it to watch it next, and I hope to see you on a video consultation soon.